Let's bring on board Chintan Thakkar, Wholetime Director and CFO at InfoEdge, joining in with us this morning. Mr. Thakkar, thank you so much for joining in with us this morning on ET Now. A trend that I want to talk about first is, AI is surely picking up pace. And because of AI, there are some bit of a reduction in terms of jobs, not required in terms of jobs, especially in the IT pack. Now, any indication that you're seeing in terms of IT hiring? Because that was a bit subdued even when we'd seen a few months back as well. So any pickup in IT hiring?
So we have been seeing kind of a decline in IT hiring for almost now little more than 4 quarters. But if you really see the job spec index that we published, that the decline is at a receding rate, but nonetheless it is still a decline. And obviously there is a correction phase that's IT industry is going on. And if you recall the 4 or 6 quarters before that, there was a great boom in hiring and and the attrition rates and pay scale and all that. So I think there is a correction phase that that IT industry is going through, and that's continuing. Although the rate at which it's kind of receding, declining, it's receding.
Right. Very good morning to you, Mr. Thakkar. This is Shailu, so joining in the conversation. That's what we spoke about the IT space and the IT hiring. No doubt in the quarter gone by, you have indicated that the non-IT hiring has actually been pretty robust. But is that a robust trend continuing even now that we are in Q4, in the quarter four right now? And also, has the attrition levels come down even in the BFSI segment?
Yeah. So non-IT is there are multiple sectors, and there are some pockets where it's still growing at a faster rate. There are some few sectors where it's not growing as fast as what it was, let's say, 2 quarters ago. But overall, non-IT portfolio seems to be growing. So that's kind of a positive news, but and that has been offsetting some of the decline in what we see it in the on the IT side.
Mr. Thakkar, let's talk about some bit of a spending in terms of on the marketing as well as investment in Jeevan Sathi as well as 99 acres. This is where, you have been already spending a lot more. Going forward also, do you plan to streamline this, or could we expect this current pace to continue?
No, actually, if you look at last 3 quarters numbers in marketing spend in both the brands that you talked about, the spend has kind of bit stabilized. So 99 acres, it's approximately about 25 crore a quarter, and in Jeevan Sathi it's about 15 crore a quarter. So we are seeing that there is a stability and steadiness in terms of the marketing spend. Of course, all depends on how much the competition also spends on that. But it's likely that this is getting more and more efficient. While on the top line, we are seeing certain efficiencies, a certain economies of scale. And that's why if you overall see the other businesses like Jeevan Sathi, 99 acres, and even Shiksha, they all have kind of reduced their cash burn and increased their efficiency. And that's why despite moderate growth overall for the InfoEdge, we have been able to an uptake in terms of operating cash, and we have been able to keep the margin in the same range.
Mr. Thakkar, actually taking a leap forward from there and talking about 99 acres, we've seen how great the buoyant the real estate market has been. It's been having a good run over the last 2 years. So in that context, if you could explain how are the fundamentals shaping up for 99 acres?
So you are very right. I think that's certainly it's buoyant market, and we also have seen a growth in our billing of about approximately 25%. And quarter on quarter, it seems to be the rate seems to be increasing. So we are hopeful that Q4 would be even better than that. But let's see. But fundamentally, the prices of real estates have gone up. But despite that, the demand is keeping pace. The inventory levels, it seems that ready to move inventories, it seems to be coming down. So that's why there are newer launches are happening in the market, and this is across all cities. Although most of our business comes from top 8, 9 cities, but we are seeing that this type of growth happening.
Mr. Thakkar, in terms of, could you give us some insight in terms of the renewals as well as in terms of pricing? How is that shaping up? Could you talk to us about that?
Yeah. In real estate as well, the renewal rate seems to be going up. As I said, that the market is buoyant, and obviously we are able to take certain price hike as well. So when we talk about the 25% growth, it includes both that there's an increase in number of customers, particularly these small brokers, seems to be kind of coming back in the market, and the resale as well as the new launches market seems to be pretty hot right now. So we are gaining, from the new increase in brokers as well as the price hike. So both are contributing to our growth rates.
And then in terms of the margins, is there room for more improvement or, from the current levels, or do you think the current levels is something that you would sustain at?
Like I said earlier, that economies of scale seems to be sipping in. And if this boom continues, and if we are able to keep the marketing spend, steady, and again the caveat is that it depends on how much the competition also react to it. But if this trend continues, then obviously there will be further efficiencies that that will be coming. We might reach closer to the break-even points.
Right. Mr. Thakkar, lastly, let me ask you the most important question which everyone would want to hear about your investments on the VC side of the business. Are you actually happy with the performance of the companies? And also, can one expect some monetization or dividends soon?
Well, we have always shown our confidence in both Zomato as well as Policybazaar. We have been the founding investor. We have been the largest shareholders in both, and we continue to support them. We have great belief in the entrepreneurship of both the companies. We still think that there is a lot more to come. Here, of course, it's a board decision, and board reviews every quarter about what we should be doing. And if there is anything to announce, we will certainly come back.
All right, Mr. Thakkar, then all the best for the coming quarter as well as the year ahead. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now to talk about the quarter gone by as well as where you see the road ahead coming in for InfoEdge. That was Mr. Chintan Thakkar, who's the Wholetime Director as well as the CFO of InfoEdge.